sent away to Syracuse for the record. Now, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous. And if you look at the themes that I've been pushing, and some of you have been covering me, I think you'll find that there are echoes of those themes in other campaigns, which there should be. Nothing wrong with that. Now to the tough part, as far as I'm concerned, my record in law school. I made a mistake. When I got to law school, and you will be given the entire record, I did not have this record. I had sent away to Syracuse for the record. They had sent me the record, but they did not send me the material that's the most pertinent, not because they kept it from me. It was on my record. There's a course called Legal Methods. And it's the course, some of you are lawyers, every freshman in law school, at least at Syracuse, has to write a legal memoranda the first 6 weeks they're at school. And the purpose, I believe, if I recall correctly from 23 years ago, is in fact to teach you how to use the library and to write a legal brief. And what you do is you're divided into groups, and there were 30 people started off in my class. We ended up graduating, I think, 86 or 87. I graduated 76 out of that bunch. The fact of the matter is that we started off and they divided us into groups. And what they did is, what you would do is, I would check your paper, you would check my paper, and she would check your paper. And part of the mark was also the ability to critique and show you could really rip apart the other person's paper. I hope I didn't say anything wrong. I'll wait if you need that. The stills are dead? Well, I'll jump up and down that or something. So I wrote a paper. And what I did through that paper, I went and got a law review article. The law review article had within the law review article a number of citations and cases. I took the cases out of the law review article and the footnotes out of the law review article, and I thought what I was doing honestly was the right way to do it, and the representation about what the case said from the law review article. And then at the end of the law review article, when they set out and said, this is what all this means, I wrote that in my paper, what the conclusion of the law review article, and I footnoted it. Now, folks, the footnote, I'm footnoting a law review article in a 15-page paper where I use 5 pages of the 15 pages out of the law review, which refer to the cases. And then as the conclusion comes up, I cite the conclusion, footnote 21, law review article, what page it occurs at the end of this citation. I was wrong, but I was not malevolent in any way. And so this young fellow, who apparently somebody's found, some other campaign's found, great, I knew he'll already be around somewhere one day, found, and he went as a good young fella, and he said, hey, Professor, this guy didn't do it the right way. Brought it to the professor brought it to the dean said, explain yourself, Biden. And I wrote, which you will get, it's in my record here, I wrote a 2-page letter explaining why I had been so stupid, but that I did not intentionally move to mislead anybody. And I didn't. To this day, I didn't. I know I didn't. I did not. I was mistaken, but I was not in any way malevolent. So I asked in the bottom of the letter, I said, Dean, let me speak to the whole faculty and make my case. In a sense, my first trial. And I walked in and I made my case. The dean told me afterwards, later that afternoon, that in fact what they were going to do is make me take an F in the course for this semester if I made it through the remainder of the school year, and we're still in good standing the second year, not related to anything ethical or unethical, just made it through in terms of my grades, because they told us when we got there they're going to flunk 40 of us out. If I made it through, then I'd have to repeat the course, the legal writing course. And I'd repeat that course the next fall, and whatever grade I got in that course would be my grade, and they'd strike the F from my transcript. You'll have my transcript also. And you'll see a line from the official transcript. Through that, I went from an F to a B. I often think what would happen if I hadn't gotten that B, I would have been 78 in my class. But at any rate. Now, that's the whole of it. That's it. What you have, what I'll